Who that everybody? My name is Tracy Bartholomew. This is Steven Bijou. And once again, here we are with Michael Turner. My man. What's happening, bro?
What's up, brother? What's up? I see y'all ain't got nothing in the refrigerator, man. Y'all need
Nah,
to
you know it's
re-up or
hard
something,
times, man.
dog.
We got the COV going on. Walmart ain't got no groceries in it no more. All the ice cream is sold out, man. Come on, bro.
Bro, hey, let me tell you. So I wanted to get
Everything.
some fruit. I wanted to get some fruit from the store, but then I thought about it. I was like, bro, y'all just got this sitting out here. Like people walk around sneezing and shit. Like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's no more.
it's
Look, good thing about all of this though is there ain't no more shortage on that toilet paper. We got TP in this.
hey facts.
What's up, brothers? I missed y'all, man. Y'all doing all right?
Oh man, we
What's up,
hanging in
Saints
there.
podcast fans? What's up, subscribers, man? We definitely appreciate you guys being faithful and loyal to us. Thank you for continuing to subscribe. Thank you for continuing to promote. Thank you for continuing to, just show your support, man. These guys do some hard work, bro. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank y'all.
So, by that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so every time that we go live, you guys will get notified and you can be here with us commenting and giving your opinions because, we always love that. We need
and
that.
check this out. And check this out. We're going to be doing a Madden 21 giveaway for Xbox or PlayStation, whichever one, whoever ends up winning. You gotta send us what system you got. We'll send you a free copy of Madden 21. But here are the rules: you have to be a subscriber, and you have to leave a comment on this video with a keyword. We're gonna drop it somewhere in the middle of this podcast, and we're not gonna tell you where, so we're gonna know if you watched the whole thing or not. So,
Oh,
so,
nice.
so, hey, if you want a free copy of Madden 21, then subscribe, watch this podcast, leave the keyword at the bottom, and we're going to pick a winner and send you a free copy of Madden.
Got it? And it's
That's
yours.
legit.
That's right.
All right.
That's
So let's get
legit.
into it. Man, I'm getting, it's YouTube, it's live. So I'm getting some feedback real quick. That's why I was checking out the phone and all that. Um, all right, so let's get into it, man. The first thing we want to talk about is the big news on the running back position. Christian McCaffrey. Man, they paying this guy a lot of money. Well worth it.
Man.
Well worth it.
Is it?
But oh yeah, man. Come on, look at the guy's season, bro. Look at his season.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
care, bro. He's a running back.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that I don't have the stats because I'm the stats man. I love giving stats, but I don't
Well,
have the stats for this man. But what he has done for the Carolina Panthers in the last year, he is, and I've said this before, the Michael Thomas of Carolina Panthers, and this man deserves every dollar that he gets.
all right, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's fair. That's fair because last year he joined the 1,000 club. 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing, which is very rare. Not too many people have done it. However, like I said, he's a running back.
Mhm.
Look at all the running backs that got paid and then fell off a cliff after they got their money. Ezekiel Elliott, bad season. Todd Gurley, traded. David Johnson, traded. Le'Veon Bell held out for a contract, goes to the Jets, has a bad season. I just don't see where you invest that kind. Now, don't get me wrong, he should have got paid, but I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 8, 9, 10 million a year. Cool.
So let me
16 million?
16 million a year, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Four
that's that's
years.
that's
Yeah,
on
4 years, 64 million. Yeah.
that's on top of the 2 million that he's already owed. That 16 million a year is new money for him.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. But let me tell you why you're wrong right now. You calling Christian McCaffrey just a running back when a man is not just a running back. He is slash wide receiver. He is slash tight end. The man plays positions. Don't I
All
see
right.
you over there?
Let me ask you a
Don't
question.
try to downplay this man
Let me ask you a
like he's
question.
not a all-around player. The
Okay.
man catches balls in the backfield. and in the wide receiving position, the tight end position.
All right,
This
that's
is
fair.
why he is the number one for Carolina, because
So,
he can catch the ball anywhere.
so what you're saying is, by your definition, we should be paying Taysom Hill about $16 million this year, right?
If Taysom Hill put up the kind of numbers Christian
Bro.
McCaffrey did, hell
Christian
yeah, I would
McCaffrey,
pay
let
him.
me tell you something. Christian McCaffrey only put up those numbers because they didn't have anyone else. Because there was nobody else. That's literally the
Michael
only reason he
Thomas.
put up those
I
numbers.
mean,
Right. But, however, running backs take an extreme amount of beatings. You know what I mean? He played more than 90% of their offensive snaps last year. He's taking a beating.
94% to be exact.
Nice. There you go.
94% to be exact. And also, too, he took almost 200 more snaps than an average running back takes for a professional, for an NFL running back for a team.
Facts.
Almost 200 more snaps
So,
more.
how
So-
much tread is left on that tire is what I'm saying to you. They paid him for what he did, not necessarily what he's going to do. And I also believe they paid him because now he's the face of the franchise. And the reason because there's no more Cam Newton, no more Luke Kuechly. So they need a marquee, and that is Christian McCaffrey. I believe that's why he got that money, not necessarily because of the player that he is.
287 attempts, 1,387 yards, 4.8 yards per average, 15 touchdowns. Come on, man.
That's fine.
Pay the
That's
man what he
fine.
deserved. Pay him
Now
what
let
he
me ask you a
deserved.
question. Let me ask you a question. With all that being said, did they make the playoffs? I'll wait.
With all that being said,
No.
you've got a man who is basically your number one receiver, running back, and any other position. The man can catch the ball, and you've seen this dude play. I can't stand Carolina Panthers, but you've seen Christian McCaffrey play, and he is a dynamic football player.
There's a lot of reasons I don't like this deal. For one, because that's going to come back to bite us in the ass.
Oh yeah, it definitely changes the running back position and how much they get paid.
That's going to come back to bite the Saints in the ass, especially with this being Alvin Kamara's last year on his rookie contract. He's going to want to get paid. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Drew Brees comes back next year, we don't have the money to pay him that kind of money. Now, if this is Brees' last year, then okay, that should free up some cap. But, it's so many variables into that, man. Like, I just don't see a world where you pay a running back $16 million. Because guess what? The same way we found Alvin Kamara in the third round, the same way we found Pierre Thomas undrafted rookie free agents, we could find another running back for cheap. And there's a lot of them in this draft. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Mike?
What
you think, bro?
Well, so I mean, obviously, last season there's no comparison to Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. I mean, Christian McCaffrey had a blow up season last year. Alvin Kamara unfortunately got hurt, and then also too came back, and just really wasn't himself. The year before that, though, they kind of ran neck and neck. They came out the stables, two big horses running the ball and doing all kind of stuff. Now,
Right.
do I see Alvin Kamara getting the money that CMC gets? Not even close. Maybe half of that. He might qualify for $8 to $10 million a year, but I can promise you this: it won't be as insane if he does get that amount of money.
Well, I mean, so you gotta again. This is where those variables kick in, right? Because Alvin Kamara played less than 70% of the snaps last year
Because he was hurt. Because he was hurt.
But facts are facts. I don't care about the reason. Facts are facts, right? He played less than 70% of the snaps. Now, also, Alvin Kamara is not a bell cow. He's not an every down back like Christian McCaffrey is. He is a satellite back.
Right.
So you're not going to pay a satellite back $16 million. Now, I would feel more comfortable paying him, like I said, around that 8-9 because he deserves that. He's been playing on a third-round contract all this time. He overproduced his contract, so he deserves to get broken off a little something. And if we gave Mark Ingram $10 million a year, then I feel comfortable giving that to Alvin Kamara. You know what I mean? However, anything above that, no, absolutely not. Now, again, I've said it multiple times. If he's asking for too much, franchise tag him, trade him. You do not let Alvin Kamara walk out the door for nothing. You just don't. You don't let him walk.
That's not gonna happen.
Nah, you don't let him walk out and just pick wherever he wants to go and you get nothing in return. No, I'm franchise tagging you and you're getting traded. And I'm gonna make sure you're not traded in the you're not in the division. So I don't know.
What do you, okay. For Alvin Kamara, and I can't lie to you and say that I've done much digging into this because I just specifically don't think it's gonna happen. But there's been talks about this being Alvin Kamara's last year, and there will be a trade. And there's a couple of teams interested in Alvin Kamara. And what kind of trade or money do you think will happen for Alvin Kamara? And do you think we should even trade him, period? Because, like I said, last season was basically a fluke to me. Alvin Kamara was hurt. He had a knee injury. He had an ankle injury. So the production that you expect out of our Alvin Kamara was not what you've seen. So why would you just up and try to change or trade this guy for anything when you haven't really seen as a young running back, you haven't really seen his peak. So why would you get rid of him?
Because if you go back further than just last year, go back to the year before that, like I've mentioned before, those games where Mark Ingram was out and Kamara was that dude, and we had a bunch of different guys come in as the backup running back, and none of them could produce. Alvin Kamara couldn't produce either. He couldn't carry that load by himself. He was
who did though? Last year? Who did? Who produced? Murray.
This guy. Look. Look, Kamara just, if you can get something for even a second round pick for Kamara, I'm taking it. And that's if you don't get him re-signed, because look, again, the variables. If Breeze is back, I don't see a way for them to pay both of them. Now, if he's gone and we have a young quarterback, then you pay Kamara. And the reason you pay Kamara is because having that security blanket for a young quarterback, all the weapons that you could possibly have, and of course, you know, what do quarterbacks do when they don't have anything else? Throw to the running back. That's something that he will be way more valuable if Breeze is not around. So, but I don't know. Again, it all depends on his asking price. It all depends. And I think even though he knows his potential, you have to look at his productivity. And I think he knows the last 2 years he hasn't really produced. So that's going to hurt his market a lot.
Have y'all heard anything about this Kamara Chiefs trade that's kind of like been floating around as a rumor?
The Kamara, no.
Let me read this to y'all real quick. All right, so this Kamara Chiefs trade makes too much sense. New Orleans Saints star running back Alvin Kamara is in the final year of his contract and either needs to be re-signed or traded. And this trade by 12up.com's Stephen Kubica makes too much sense. Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints are on the ropes ahead of the final year of his contract. After holdouts from Melvin Gordon and Le'Veon Bell, there's a real potential that Kamara will lean the same way before he gets paid. The New Orleans Saints need to be seriously considering whether they are going to choose to pay him the money he deserves coming out of his rookie contract, or whether they are going to trade him away to another team. So here is the trade. So the Saints would get Damian Williams, who is a running back for the Chiefs, Laurent Duvernay Tardif, which is a guard, and a third-round pick. And the Chiefs would get Alvin Kamara and a fifth-round pick.
Nope.
Says this trade is interesting to say the least, and Kubica did a great job of crafting something that truly makes sense for both sides.
That does not make sense. That does not make sense at all.
This is something that is
That doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
so tell me why.
Because that the value for the Saints is not there. You're sending a playmaker, which I never disagree that he's a playmaker, because they will have another back there, right? To pair with
They already got another back.
right. To pair, no, they don't have Hunt anymore. He's with the Browns, but
No.
they will have another back there to pair with Kamara, and you're giving a guy like Patrick Mahomes that kind of weapon, and we're getting what watered down version of Kamara and a guard, and we're also giving them a 5th round pick on top of that. No, absolutely not.
Well, we also get a third. We would get Damian Williams, their starting left guard, Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
We don't need a left guard.
Round pick.
We re-signed Andres Pete.
Yeah.
There's no need for a guard. So again, why would that make sense for us when we got guys like Patrick Omame sitting there in case Pete gets hurt? We don't need to. And plus, what kind of contract does that guy have? That we got to take that guy's contract on too, so that will hurt our cap. So no, that's dumb. That'd be dumber than the Texans trading D-Hop for David Johnson. That's dumb as hell.
Yeah,
right.
I definitely agree. I think that's a little bit much. I did read that, Mike. I seen that a while ago. I think that was somewhere around Monday or Tuesday. But nah, I'm not feeling it. If you're gonna give me something for Alvin Kamara, I need another playmaker. Facts. I need something big. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Even though we had one bad season, everybody knows what Alvin Kamara is made of or what he can do.
And then if you look at off the field, if you look just from a business standpoint, how much jersey sales and stuff Kamara produces for you.
Right.
You're not gonna get that back from Williams and whoever the hell else they offered up. Now, if you want to be fair,
I don't even know what he was talking about.
If you want to be fair, give me Travis Kelce and you can have Kamara.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I completely 100% agree with you. I think we should ride with Alvin Kamara. And if we do decide, to let him go, we definitely need to let him go for something more solidifiable for our team. Something meet some needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And definitely we need to replace him with a viable running back that we know can come in and be productive immediately. Yep. Maybe something with Derrick Henry or something in Tennessee or something like that. I don't know, but definitely not someone in the in the level of Damian Williams.
Because if we're honest, Latavius Murray and Damian Williams are the same player. So there would be no 1-2 punch because they have the same skill set. So that would be a total mess up for the offense. And as we all know, Drew Brees needs that running back that can catch out the backfield, that can, whatever. Yeah. Like he's always better when he has it.
It's definitely part of the game plan between Sean Payton and the offense, which everybody knows Sean Payton runs that offense, and that's part of what he does. That's what he likes. So to have somebody that's not capable of doing that is just outrageous. Go ahead, Mike.
This year, I think I said it a couple casts ago. I told y'all Alvin Kamara's gonna have his year this year. This is gonna be his year, bro.
I think so too.
I just got that feeling, bro, that he's gonna do his thing because it's at the end of his contract. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gonna, with the way that everything is taking place, it's gonna open up that offense for him more.
Let's talk
he's
about
not gonna
that.
be keyed on as much.
Let's talk about that because
Wait. Let's talk about that, Steve, because when we were just doing audio and we weren't on YouTube yet, a couple of months back, because it ain't been that long, you was talking about how Alvin Kamara was about to get traded because he didn't have no production and he wasn't going to get better. And this was his last year, so he was doing this shit on purpose, how he was just falling down after every hit. And him being hurt wasn't part of the whole situation. He's garbage now. Remember that?
I didn't
You
say it
remember
was
you
garbage. I
said that?
said he didn't care. I said he didn't care.
He
I
didn't care
said he
because this
didn't
is
care.
last year, and
Yeah.
he don't want to be that person to where it's like, oh, well, what am I playing for? I want to be healthy when it's time for my contract to be up. Nah,
Exactly.
nah.
So hold on. No, hey, my narrative still goes with what I'm about to say, right? That is very much true. Now, he didn't give all his effort last year, is what I believe, right? Now, this is a contract year. So no, whether he gets that contract from the Saints or from somebody else, he's about to try to ball out. He's going to try because he needs to show, hey, like this dude is still that dude. We need to pay him. We need to get him on our squad, right? That's number one. But what we're forgetting here is, will this even happen, period? Because with everything that's going on in the world, how will that affect the performance of the teams? Because there probably will be no OTAs, no mini camps. They might just have 1 or 2 preseason games and that's it. So
Right.
how will that affect the play on the field from these teams? And how can you evaluate these players and what they're doing when they've had basically zero preparation? Also, how does all this affect the draft? Because guys can't medically check guys. They can't bring them in for visits like they normally would. You just talking to them over the phone. And of course, we all know in person and over the phone is very different as far as vibes go. There might be a lot of different, strikes and misses going on this season that normally wouldn't happen.
All right. So first of all, Steven, good deflection. I feel you.
It wasn't a deflection. It was an
It was a
answer, bro.
deflection, man. You didn't answer the question. You deflected that motherfucker like
Bro, I said he's going to try to ball out this year because this is his contract year. Last year he was like, I'm gonna heal up all the way because whatever. Now this year he's gonna ball out, try to get that contract, whether it's with the Saints or with another team. So
you still feel like he was just doing it on purpose.
it's
he was
quite
trying to
possible. I
save
mean, bro,
himself.
if you just look at this man's demeanor, because many people straight up asked him, "Yo, are you still hurt? Are you still nicked up?" Most players would be like, "Yeah, but I played through it." Da, 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 da. He never said anything like that. He's just like, "Nah, I'm not hurt." Oh, so what's going on? Sometimes it just be like that. Like,
Sometimes it be like that. Alvin Kamara ain't no big talk. Everybody know this is the most humble dude outside of Michael Thomas on the team. But that brings me up to my next part. That brings me up to my next point. The NFL has actually been discussing a shorter season, or either a shorter season or banning fans from stadiums altogether in the 2020 season. I think that's going to hurt a lot. Even not only with the keeping fans out of the season, and this is all due to the COVID-19 epidemic that's going on right now. But if you ban fans from the stadium, that's billions of dollars being lost by that team, that organization. But to shorten the season is also billions of dollars lost.
Facts, which is why, I mean, those two sentiments go against everything that the NFL is trying to do. For one, even if you ban fans from the stadium, bro, there's at any given time 70 plus people on the sideline. So you got 70 plus people for 2 teams. That's at least 150 to 200 people if you count trainers and all that in the stadium at one. That's not going to stop anything. You know what I'm saying? So keeping fans out is the wrong answer. And then shortening the season, they just went through this whole CBA when they wanted to add games. So you're going to take away games and shorten the season this year? No. You going to lose out all that.
Same thing. I thought that same thing. We just added a playoffs and more teams, and now you're trying to shorten the season. It just makes no sense. But it's actual discussions that's going on.
Bro, I almost rather them if like anything has to happen. Because I will tell you this. So Trump was on a conference call with all the sports commissioners, right? NFL, AEW wrestling, WWE, basketball, NBA, all that, right? And after that call, now the media didn't have access to this call, but you have to pay attention to what these people are doing after the call. After the call, the WWE and AEW proceeded to film episodes for the next 2 months, right? And they also have come out and said that they anticipate that the football season will not be affected. September football will happen. That tells me that they know something that obviously we don't. If they prepared for the next 2 months, then hopefully that says that football season won't be affected. Now, if it is, it would be better for them to just postpone the season. And what I mean by that is if they're playing, let's say they don't start till January. Let's say they start in January, right? And play a season, like a regular season. And then they just work the schedule for the following season until they can get back to normal. I almost rather them do that than shorten the season. You know what I'm saying? Just play the season a little bit later than you would normally, because you want to protect the game. Not only want to protect the game, like having no fans, like those players feed off of energy in the stadium. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the excitement of the game. Like, and it's, I mean, bro, like, y'all know I'm a wrestling fan, and they're putting on shows without fans in the stadium, and it's just weird. Like the fans give the anything energy, and without it, it's not going to be the same. Plus, like you mentioned, billions of dollars lost.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be really really weird if that does go down that way, because I mean a large part of the experience of watching football is the fans and
Yep.
the sound and the excitement and the adrenaline and the games and stuff. It's just not gonna be the same if it does go down like that watching football. I mean it really is. It's scary to think about. I would much rather just see them postpone, half of the season or whatever, instead of doing all of that, or even just go without a season, and go to next season. I don't know, but I mean, a big part of the experience of watching football on TV is fans, so I don't really see that panning out. I mean, now they are going to that virtual draft. We got to draft what in 8 days.
Yep.
So
by the way, we will be live for
we're
the
gonna
draft.
do the whole.
We will have a live watch special for the draft for anybody that's listening right now. So come on with us. We'll have all the updates and everything, and we'll watch the draft together, have a big party, make a party out of it. So anyway, my bad, Mike. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Party on. Let's do this.
Stupid. This dude was stupid, man. Yeah, so we definitely will be having our own little draft party. So you guys tune in for that. We're gonna be giving our picks and what we think, and if it was a good pick, bad pick, and who we think is coming up next, and all of that good stuff. So you guys tune in for that, man. We're gonna be live on YouTube, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a big deal. We love the draft. We love seeing new players and what they're capable of, and how we think they're gonna fit in our scheme, especially with the Saints. Another thing, let's talk about Drew. Let's talk about Drew, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Drew Brees,
this is my Drew
our
Brees.
quarterback.
Bro,
Breezy.
can I just say this?
Can I finish my statement?
I'm gonna let you say, but I gotta say this, bro.
Golly.
This man's agent got to be the coldest dude on the face of the planet Earth. Go ahead.
Oh,
just go ahead.
By far. So Drew Brees, $100 million for Sunday Night Football. So he basically said, nah, ESPN, for Sunday Night Football.
For Monday night.
No, Monday Night Football. Monday night. He was supposed to be on ESPN for Monday night
Football, yeah.
So NBC came, swept them up for $100 million for Sunday Night Football. Swept them right underneath their feet, just like swoop, give me that. You know what I'm saying? As soon as this dude's done playing, I got him. Bro,
how do you?
So in all aspects of the game, right? All aspects of money talk and as a person in general, man, this gotta be your last season when a dude telling you I'm about to pay you $100 million just to sit on TV like me and you right now just talking about football. I'm getting paid $100 million. I'm taking it. I'm not about to go get sacked.
Bro.
I'm not about to throw no more passes, ice in my arm. None of that.
Bro.
$100 million.
How
This
cold
Drew
do you
Brees
have to
last year,
be?
man.
How cold do you have to be to ink a deal for someone to say, "Yeah, when you're ready, we're gonna pay you this"?
When you ready.
Furthermore, oh,
You got to be pretty.
I know
You
you've
got
never done this job before, not even a little bit, but we're still gonna pay you $100 million to do a job you've never done before, bruh.
Mike.
This dude,
yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, he get your money, man. You know, I mean, that's how I feel. Get your
Right.
money. Like you can't get the recognition that you
oh
deserve
my god,
through the NFL. You know, they did this all decade team, whatever.
right? Yup.
He ain't even on that.
Hey,
You know, I mean,
hey,
all of this stuff that they leaving him out of, but yet Sunday Night Football says, "Oh, well, we want to give you $100 million to come do something you ain't never did before, but we see it in
check
you."
this out.
Right.
Ain't
Hey, get
nobody
your money,
offered
bro.
Tom.
You know,
Nobody offered Tom Brady no contract though. I'm just saying.
I ain't
yeah,
heard about that yet.
and ain't nobody gonna offer Tom Brady nothing like that because he a slime ball. He can't
Facts.
cheat at doing that. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? I mean,
He can't cheat
you know,
at
I
doing
mean,
that. Oh, y'all
you know,
boys
I
is
mean,
something else,
straight
though.
up. Now, I'm gonna tell you,
he gonna be
I'm gonna tell you
he
something you probably ain't even heard of.
he gonna
Have
have
you heard that Tampa is trying to sign? Tampa Bay is trying to sign Gronk to a 1-year deal. Gronk talking about coming to play football at Tampa Bay.
you know, hey,
Yeah,
first of
he's
all,
coming back out of retirement.
no, he's not, and I'm gonna tell you why. You want to know why? Again,
Well, he's talking about it.
no, he can't. You know why? I just said I'm a wrestling fan.
I mean,
he signed a contract with the WWE, a full-time contract with the WWE.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I heard he trying to come back to football. You know, that was on that's on Facebook though. That that could be some phony stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He signed a deal with the WWE and he was at WrestleMania, so he's already like in it. So no, that's not gonna happen most
Well,
likely.
he
And
better off at WWE because at least there he knows he ain't gonna be legitly broke up. You know, 'cause that's some phony stuff.
Well, first of all,
Football, yeah, you might get hurt. You know?
let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and give my opinion on both of them situations. What Gronk talking about, he coming back. You got to think about this man. He definitely will be one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? He has done a lot. So to say that he might come back just to play on a separate team or different team with Tom Brady, and he thinks or they think they might have a Super Bowl caliber team, I could see it. I definitely could see it.
correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not retire? He retired, right?
What does that matter? People retire and come back all the time, bro.
Gronk? Yeah,
I'm about to tell you.
He is
Hold
retired.
on.
But he is.
I'm about to tell you what that means. If he's
Okay, go
retired,
ahead.
is he not? The Patriots still own his rights. So if he comes back,
To retain,
unless they work out a trade,
the Patriots have rights to him.
exactly. So unless they work out a trade, if he comes out of retirement, he's going back to the Patriots.
Well, that was also included in the article that I read that Tampa Bay would have to give up a substantial amount to New England to get the rights to him.
And why would
So
you do that for a
they
1 year
talked about
rental?
that. It was a legit. I think it was from Who Dat Dish. What?
Why would you do that for a 1 year rental?
Because we're
Right.
trying to win a Super Bowl
I
now.
think it was on.
That's why.
I hear
Yeah.
you, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
So
I don't want to get
my
too far.
second
I know we were talking about.
my second
I'm sorry.
my second thing is, right, you see guys coming from this place to that place, this professional sport to that professional sport. We've seen a lot of guys come from the NFL to the UFC, coming out of retirement saying, "Oh, we're going to be a part of the UFC, or we're going to be part of the WWE," and that shit don't never pan out. Brock Lesnar was one of the guys that popped to my mind. He's been in the UFC, also the WWE, or you know what I'm saying, whatever they call it now. I don't really follow wrestling. But this last within the last year 2019, he's went to UFC talking about, oh, I'm about to come back to the UFC and I'm gonna fight again and all this other, but he's right back into the WWE, and that fight or what he was looking for ain't happening. So just talking about my man's coming to the WWE, don't just because he's there and he's doing some promotion about he wants to be there or that's what he wants to do, don't mean it's about to happen. You might see
Nah,
this man on Tampa Bay. Yeah.
He's under contract already. It wasn't just like, oh, like I'm talking about it and I'm promoting. No, he signed a full contract to be a performer for the WWE. And WrestleMania was the first thing that he did.
Man, that shit sounds stupid. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, hey, bro, trust me, it was stupid. It was very stupid. As a wrestling fan, I'm like, bro, why is the dude here? Like, I don't want to see this guy. He's retarded. Like, I don't want to see this. But yeah, they signed that man to a full contract.
Look, first of all, I'm not about to turn this into no wrestling podcast. I don't care about WWE or the fake soap opera that goes on between them dudes, right? I want to see some real fighting.
Yeah.
I want to see some real shit happening. People getting in block knocked off.
Hey, stop being a hater all your life.
Man,
Stop being a hater all your life.
Look,
So look, listen,
go ahead, bro.
I want to ask y'all about, we started this with the whole Drew Brees thing, and I told y'all before we came on that I had a little bit of a surprise that I wanted to talk with y'all with, and so part of it is with Drew Brees, and obviously there's been a lot of talks about backups coming from either out of the draft, like they interviewed Love. They also interviewed that other guy, another quarterback or whatever. But they also have been talking to another guy that they were pretty interested in back in 2018. So
if you say Cam Newton,
let me read a little bit of this
you from this podcast, bro.
What?
If you say Cam Newton,
go ahead, say what you gotta say, Mike.
I'm gonna delete you from this podcast, dog.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't Cam Newton.
All right.
It's one that you would probably least expect, but I feel is a viable opportunity. So in 2018, this guy was the 10th overall pick in the draft. He was a quarterback, and he went to the Arizona Cardinals. A guy by the name of Josh Rosen.
Oh, yes, sir.
About,
hey,
right?
let me tell you. So we were going. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. I love it. I would love for that dude to be the backup.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I've watched that man's career
let me tell you
when he
something.
was in college at UCLA. He's a baller, and so far people are considering him a bust. But you were at Arizona for 1 year, right? With no offensive line, no weapons, no running backs, no nothing, and they were garbage. They blame him. They get the number 1 pick, get Kyler Murray, ship him to Miami. Miami, same situation. You're tanking. You send all your best players away via trade, and now you're saying, oh, Josh Rosen doesn't have it. Bruh, I'm telling you right now, put Josh Rosen on New Orleans Saints with all these weapons, with that offensive line. Chosen Rosen is what they call him, and that should be the guy. That should be the guy right there.
Well, let me read this out to y'all real quick. 2015, this is his freshman year. He was a starting quarterback at UCLA. He threw for 3,669 yards. He threw 23 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, a 134 quarterback rating. 2016, he got injured. He was out for half the season. He came back to the last half of the season, threw for 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 138 quarterback rating. 2017, his junior year, he threw for 3,756 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, had a quarterback rating of 147. His overall career at UCLA, he threw for almost 10,000 yards, 59 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, and had a quarterback rating of 140. That is pretty pretty good,
Now he
right?
sound like the
Now,
truth the way
obviously,
you
we
throwing out
know
them
that.
stats right there, the way y'all talking about him, he sound like the truth. What does do with that?
I'm telling you, man, like it. There are some talks. Like Miami has already said that they would be willing to, talk about trading him out because obviously, they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick has been re-signed. So I, they are talking about releasing him or possibly getting into some talks of a trade. And a friend of mine, a buddy of mine, told me that they have been talking with the Saints. So this could be a viable option for us. He's only owed $2 million on his contract for next year. 2.2 million is what he's owed, right? And that would be all that he would have to pay, that we would have to take on. Plus, if we decided to sign him for, an extra year or so, then we would have to, negotiate that with him. But I could see this as being something that might be workable for us to do after we're done with the draft. I think the whole thing behind the quarterback situation is really up in the air for us. I do feel as though um, I would love to have Andy Dalton, but he has too much money. He's $17.7 million is just too much money to take on. And actually Cincinnati is talking about keeping him on behind Joe Burrow. I'd love to have Andy Dalton, bro, but I
Bro,
think Josh Rosen is
first of all, think about
actually a
this.
good fit.
Think about this. If we go get Josh Rosen, let's say we give up, I don't know, a seventh round pick, because by their standards and what he's done so far, he's nothing. So we don't have to give up anything for him, right? We go get Josh Rosen. We have this guy on the hook for 2.2 million, whatever it is. We go from paying a quarterback 25 million to 2.2. Now think of all the money we can invest around the team around him. If you think about teams that have been winning the Super Bowl lately, it's been young quarterbacks who are getting paid pretty much nothing, and the team is stacked around them. We already have a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball. Now, imagine if we could take that quarterback money and go get even more weapons with a guy that's capable, because Josh Rosen is very, very capable, and I don't think he's been given a fair shake. That could work, and I think he could be the franchise quarterback going forward if they were to make that move.
I definitely see. I think you put him behind underneath Drew Brees for a
Yep.
year and give him the opportunity to learn that system. I think he would fit in fine. He's a very accurate quarterback. He's very mobile and he's a game thinker, just like Drew Brees. I've watched a little bit of his highlights, and he's got that mentality. He's got that impression that gives you, that intuitive thought. He reads defenses good. He just hasn't had any time to do anything. I mean, both of the offensive lines that he's played behind have been pathetic. I mean, Cardinals and the Dolphins, both of them have been pathetic. The only reason why Ryan Fitzpatrick did what he did last season, come in and win 5 games, because Josh Rosen started last year as the Dolphins back. He was the starting quarterback, and then into to half the season he didn't throw. He threw one touchdown and 5 interceptions. He threw for 567 yards. He only played 2 games, so they didn't even give him a fair chance, you know, and lost both the games. So they put Ryan Fitzpatrick in there, who ended up going 5-11. I mean 5-11. So I mean they didn't really give him a fair shake in Miami, and in Miami, and then in 2018, he threw for 2,278 yards. He threw 11 to 14 interceptions. It was his rookie year. I mean, he was thrown into a garbage offense as a rookie. That's like the whole Danny Werfel experience when we got Danny Werfel. I mean, it was miserable. It was miserable to watch because we didn't have an offensive line, and he was a rookie quarterback, coming in behind Aaron Brooks of all people. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he didn't get a fair shake. So I really think that this is a viable option for us. I really hope that they do continue to consider it and something happens with it. I think Josh Rosen could be a good fit for us. I really do.
Facts.
And then he's young. Oh, man, I
Now,
mean,
hey, well,
no
with this,
no injuries since.
facts. Hey, well,
Go
with
ahead.
this,
He hasn't had any injuries. He only
we can go to the next thing. Reports out there, and there's video of UNT quarterback Mason Fine working out with Drew Brees and his trainer in the offseason. Now, Mason Fine has set all kind of records at North Texas, and they say that this guy could pretty much ball. The only reason he's not on the radar is because of the division he played in college. UNT's not in the best division,
well.
but what do you think about that guy?
First of all, Mason Fine. I'm not sure who this guy is or what you're talking about. This has got to be one of those dudes that's under the radar. Because when you say this guy's names, I'm like, who the hell is he or where he comes from? And you said he has like this great season or all these great stats, but I have never heard of this dude. Before we started the podcast, you mentioned the dude to me, and I was like, okay, if this is who you want to talk about, but you got to give me something on this dude because I've never heard of him. And if I've never heard of him, he's got to be definitely one of the greatest under the radar players to ever be heard of.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's at a small school. You know what I'm saying? UNT, to put it in perspective, I went to Sam Houston State. We would play UNT from time to time. I'm not sure if they are FBS or if they're FCS school, but they're not in the they're not in the Power 5 conference. So anybody that's not in a Power 5 conference, it's gonna be like, who is this guy? He came out of nowhere. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? To say that he's working out with Drew Brees right now. They're working out with the same trainer in the same room doing the same drills together. He's already learning from Brees. We already know he's soaking up everything he can right now. That being said, considering the fact that there will be no offseason this year, considering the fact that we're looking for the future, a guy that's already learning from Brees, given his talent and what he did at UNT, breaking records, hey, it's plausible.
Well, here's the actual fact about that. They both pay the same trainer. Okay, so they train together because they both pay the same trainer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because they have the same trainer that they work together. But there is, I mean, they are working together. They're all working out together because they're being trained by the same trainer. I mean, does that mean that makes him any more of an opportunity for us? Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. If Drew Brees has something to say about it.
Bro, you can't tell me,
but
you cannot tell me that if he is in the same room with Brees, with the same trainer doing the same, that he's not watching this man's every step, that he's not asking questions, that he's not absorbing everything that you can get from being in a room with Drew Brees, even from breaking down film or whatever it is they're doing, taking care of their bodies, picking up his mannerisms, maybe even throwing motion and mechanics. He's probably absorbing all of that from Brees right now. And while other young quarterbacks coming out in this draft, or even rookies or second-year guys that are in the league now, probably are working out, but they're not in the room with Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying?
It's a far fetch. It's a far fetch. But what's to say that these guys are not working out together? And what the fuck? What is this guy's name again? This is how I lost him. Mason Fine. But who's to say that he's not working out with Drew Brees and Drew is not going back saying, "Look, dude, look, Mickey, look, Sean, this dude is the truth, man. You never heard of him, but I'm watching him every day, and this dude is the truth. Maybe we should start looking at him, picking him up in the draft instead of whoever else we're looking at. I'm working with this dude every single day. I know what he's capable of, and Drew Brees has a lot of pull
Facts.
with the Saints. Facts. So maybe, you might have some legitimacy to, this whole conspiracy theory that you're talking about right now. But I mean, it could be possible, bro. It could be possible. And I'm gonna look
Hey.
up some film. I'm gonna look up some film on this dude because now I'm interested. Now I want to know who this dude is. You're working out
Yeah,
with
bro,
Drew Brees every day.
Mason-
I want to know what you're talking about.
Mason Fine University of North Texas is where he played at, and I'm telling you, man, is that's probably exactly what's going on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because right now, as we know, coaches and GMs can't be with the players and travel bans and all that. But hey, they got a scout low key, like Drew Brees
Mike.
sitting right there texting
Mike.
Sean, like, "Hey, man, this guy has a good deep ball. Hey, man, this guy like whatever."
I doubt it. But I get that to you, bro. I get that to you.
What are you
It's
hold up.
possible.
What you talking about?
It's possible. Man, stop playing with me right now.
Now I will
man.
say this. Now look, I will give credit where credit is due. Back when we got Marcus Colston in draft, right? Marcus
Mhm.
Colston came from a no name school. Nobody knew about him. We got him in the 6th round, I think it was.
7th round.
But the reason why, the 7th round, right? The
Mhm.
reason why is because him and Joe Horn had a relationship before they drafted him, because Joe Horn was at the combine that year, working out with the wide receivers,
Exactly.
and him and Colston just kind of meshed, right? And so Joe Horn went back and told general manager, so, hey, look, y'all really need to take a look at this guy. He's going to be under the radar. We could probably get him in, 5th, 6th, 7th round and get him at a good price, and he's going to be a superstar. And that's exactly what happened, So, I mean, that kind of stuff does legitimately happen. And obviously, if you go back and says, hey, man, this is the guy right here. Y'all need to get him. He's for real. I think he's got what it takes. Then they're probably going to do that, I still like the whole Josh Rosen idea, though. I just think.
Facts. If we could get Josh Rosen in there, hey, look, like I said, man, Josh Rosen, you can get him for pennies. So if we can go get Josh Rosen and still draft Mason Fine, why not have 2 of them and let them compete? You see what I'm saying? I mean, because we always carry 3 running backs, and if Drew is gone next year, why the hell not? Let Taysom Hill get in the competition too, for starting quarterback. And let the 3 of them go crazy. That'll be a great quarterback.
Right. That's right. Now here's the idea. We go in the draft, we draft this guy in like the 3rd or 4th round, right? We get him on the roster, then we use Taysom Hill as this for someone like Josh Rosen or something, or something else. We can use Taysom Hill, I mean, that's what he is, a tool, so we use him, for what he is. I mean, he's a great kid, he's a great athlete. He's not a starting fucking quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback. Bottom line, can we agree on this?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I mean, if he wants to be, if he wants to be like a Cordell Stewart type of thing, then we can use him that way, But if he wants to be a starting quarterback somewhere, it's not going to be in a black and gold uniform. I can promise you that, And Sean Payton can talk all the crap he wants to about it. He's just talking it up so that he can get more money and more opportunity with him,
Facts.
Business,
But shout out to Taysom Hill, man. I love you, man. You're a great quarterback / everything else on the New Orleans Saints, man. And for that, you make the team a better team. So I hope you stay around for a long time.
Hey, and look, peep this out, bro. Who's to say that at the beginning of this season, Taysom is still with us? Because the draft, depending on how that falls, let's say we got 5 picks in the bag and all of the top quarterbacks are gone. And now a team is scrambling for a quarterback and they're like, damn, we was going to pick this quarterback. We don't have no backup plan for quarterback. They may give up their 1st round pick in this draft to get Taysom Hill. So that's still a possibility. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So
it's a possibility. If all of the quarterbacks are gone, the legitimate quarterbacks are gone,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely pick Taysom Hill over somebody that is garbage, somebody that hasn't done nothing for their team or is not really worth talking about. Taysom Hill has been in the league for a minute now. He has done production at the quarterback position. He has made plays, scored touchdowns. So, I mean, outside of anybody legitimate, of course, I'm taking Taysom Hill as a quarterback. But as my starting quarterback, man, that's hard to deal with. It's hard to think about, especially when this dude really has no time back there as a starting quarterback. You know what I mean? In
Yep.
any other position, if you want to pick this man as a wide receiver or a tight end or a running back, bet I'm about that. But as a starting quarterback to run your offense, I just can't see it. I can't see it at all. But I love you, Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro.
Hey, speaking of mobile quarterbacks, man, we got some bad news over the weekend. Former Vikings and Seattle Seahawks quarterback Tavares Jackson died in a car crash over the weekend.
I did hear about that. I was actually gonna
Man,
bring
that's
that up last because I do want to give a couple of moments of silence for this because he was a great player. He was in the league for a long time. Um, to have any death, period, is a bad situation. But there's been a lot of that going on lately, and to say that Tavares has died in a car accident, one of the worst case scenarios. It's horrible, man. So 5-10 seconds worth of silence for a great NFL player is not too much to ask. So I'm gonna get that to you now since you want to bring it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad to think about, bro. Like you just never really know. Any day could be your day. Any day could
yeah.
be your day. Um, so anytime something like that happens, man, it's just really bad to think about. It's really horrible. You gotta love the people that you're around, love your idols, love your family, kiss them every day, tell them that you love them because you never really know what's gonna happen. Never know what's gonna happen, man.
Yep.
So shout out to Ross Jackson, man. Family, bless you. I hope your family is dealing with it in a positive way. I hope this brings light onto things that can happen and have a positive outlook on a tragic situation. All right, getting away from that because it's getting dark in here. Um, One last subject that we have that I want to bring up is the XFL. And maybe it was best that we brought this up last because this is another dog situation where somebody has done something great. It was supposed to be so great, and now it's over. The XFL has canceled their season for the next season. It is done. They're not coming back. And I think, Steven, you told me earlier today that they're actually filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, man, because they owe a lot of money to a lot of people, man. Hey, shout out to the Pat McAfee show, man. I think he was one of the first ones to report on it, on exactly how much money they owe people. I mean, they owe some of their coaches over $1 million still. They owe
Man,
over $300,000 for merchandise made, like backpacks, hats, and all this other stuff. They owe over $300,000 to some players. They owe a lot of money, man. Like close to 5 million. So,
Wow.
with everything that happened, and it's sad because they were doing so good, man. Their TV numbers were good. The football product itself was
yeah,
good. A
yeah,
few players actually got picked up and signed to NFL teams because of what they did in the XFL,
yes,
and it provided a service, man. Like that time of year where there's no entertaining sports, there's no nothing. We're all clamoring from football because we got that hangover. It filled that void, and it was a good product. And now a lot of people
It
out of
was.
jobs. It's sad because they put so much work and organization into it. It was a much different product from the 2001 predecessor, and it was much better. And now it's no more. They filed for bankruptcy, and that sucks, man, because it was a really good thing going.
Yeah, I thought it was a great product. I thought they did a lot of
Yeah.
different things than the NFL to make it a little bit more exciting for the fans. And I've always said something outside of the regular season, um, as far as football, would have been great regardless. And the
Mhm.
XFL has made that
Yeah.
product to where it's exciting. They did something different to where it wasn't all the specific rules and regulations. Um, they made it an exciting game. Even though I thought some of the names were garbage, besides that, the fans was there. The
Now, I
fans
will
was
say
in the
this.
stadium.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
it didn't look like it because they were doing 7, 8, 9, 12,000, but they're in stadiums that hold 80,000 people, so it didn't look like a lot, but that was a lot of people for a startup.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I will say this: there's a little bit of a hope and a little bit of a chance that they will come back because just because they filed for bankruptcy, all that does is prevent them from having to pay people right now. However, I don't know if you guys remember the AFA, the Alliance Football League, from about 2 years ago, and they debunked in the middle of their season, folded because they ran out of money. That Twitter page tweeted out a sailboat. It was a meme of a sailboat sailing on the ocean, and they added the XFL and added a bunch of people that work for the XFL. So I don't know what that means exactly, but it's quite possible but that the XFL and the AFA combine together and work something out to get back in, under one banner, under, the XFL if they absorb the AFA and maybe work something out for maybe 2022. That would be awesome, man, because I do think the idea of a spring league is much needed and it's awesome to have around. And that, that'll let them expand, have some more talent, and I think it'll be good for everyone. So hopefully that works out, but as of right
Yeah.
now, they're no more.
Mike.
Yeah, I agree. I think I mean the XFL far superseded any other organization that tried to put something together aside from regular season NFL football.
Hmm.
You look at the USFL, you look at Alliance,
Arena
everyone, all of them
football.
kind of tried. The only one out of those couple that actually did a little something was the USFL, but I saw some promise in XFL. I really liked the format of the games. I really liked the idea for them being a platform for players that have been overlooked in the NFL to have another shot at going to the NFL. I thought that was because I mean a couple of them got signed. And I saw
Yeah.
that would probably be promising for years to come. And then also aside from that, any football fan wants football playing year round. I mean, I think I watched two games and I enjoyed them. I
Hmm.
enjoyed some of the different stuff, like the look of the kickoff. I thought that was a very good idea and something that the NFL may need to take a look at. Is making them closer together because a lot of people get injured on that play because they're running at full speed. So I mean I really enjoyed the XFL. I wish it would have worked out. Unfortunately, it hasn't. Hopefully, the next year or two, Vince McMahon and whoever else he can get together can possibly come up with something again. But they lost a shit ton of money. Like they had no choice. I mean they lost a shit ton of money.
Yeah, so shout out to the
So
XFL, man. I hope you guys come back. I was really digging what you guys were
yeah,
doing. A lot of people around the world was digging what you were doing. And I think you had a good product. I think you had some good things going, especially with some of the rule changes that you were doing. Um, so hopefully they come back, guys. Also, when you do come back, Voodoo, come on, man. Do all this
Yeah,
voodoo
get
and
get hey,
XFL.
yeah,
give
Come
New
on,
Orleans a
bro.
team,
I
bro.
need that,
That's
man.
right.
I
yeah.
need that.
That's right.
So, with that being said, man, my name is Tracy Bartholomew. This is Stephen Beasley and Michael Turner, and you've been listening to the Saint Style Podcast.
That's right. And if you don't believe the
Yeah.
XFL was a good product, man, what we tell them?
Man, stop playing with me right now. You seen it. We're gonna talk to you guys later, and don't you forget, Madden free. It's coming to you. Like, comment, subscribe.